Hello, everyone. If you're feeling worried about your upcoming real estate exam, wondering what kinds of questions will be asked, and whether or not you'll actually be able to pass, just know you're not alone. And even if you feel like you're not as well prepared as you'd like to be, please don't worry at all. I sincerely encourage you to watch this video all the way to the end because it will help you see exactly which topics and types of questions are most likely to appear on the exam. Take your time, relax, and let's go through it together. Also, subscribe to the channel for more practice videos. If you practice with all of them, trust me, you'll pass your exam on the very first try. Alright everyone, let's get started with the video. Question number 1. A seller signs an open listing agreement with 3 different brokers. Broker Mason introduces a buyer who ultimately purchases the property. Which statement is most accurate? A. All 3 brokers share the commission equally. B. Only broker Mason is generally entitled to the commission. C. The seller owes no commission under an open listing. D. Each broker receives compensation from the buyer. Correct answer B. Only broker Mason is generally entitled to the commission under an open listing. The broker who is the procuring cause of the sale generally earns the commission. Question number 2. A buyer submits an offer stating acceptance must be received by 6 p.m. The seller signs the offer at 5:30 p.m., but the acceptance is not delivered until 7:15 p.m. What is the best answer? A. A contract automatically exists because the seller signed before 6 o'clock p. Option B, the contract is valid because earnest money was included. C, acceptance may be ineffective because it was not communicated before the deadline. D, the seller may extend the deadline after signing. Correct answer. C, acceptance may be ineffective because it was not communicated before the deadline. Acceptance generally must be communicated according to the terms of the offer. Question number 3. A commercial investor purchases a warehouse leased to several long-term tenants. Which factor will most strongly influence the property's market value? A. Original construction cost. B. Expected rental income. C. Seller's asking price. D. Outstanding mortgage balance. Correct answer B. Expected rental income. Income-producing commercial property is commonly valued based on its earning potential. Question number 4. A buyer learns after signing a purchase agreement that the property is located within a designated flood hazard area. The buyer asks whether flood insurance may be required by the lender. A. Flood insurance can never be required by the lender. B. Only cash buyers purchase flood insurance. C. Flood insurance is required for every home purchase. D. Lenders may require flood insurance for properties in designated flood zones. Correct answer. D. Lenders may require flood insurance for properties in designated flood zones. Many lenders require flood insurance when collateral is located in designated flood hazard areas. Question number 5. A listing broker knows the seller recently replaced the roof after storm damage. A buyer asks whether the home has experienced any significant repairs during the past year. What is the broker's best response? A. Answer truthfully based on known facts. B. Tell the buyer to rely only on the inspection. C. Decline to discuss the property's history. D. Refer every question to the seller. Correct answer. A. Answer truthfully based on known facts. Brokers should provide truthful information about known material facts when legally required. Question number 6. A property sells for $918,000 with a 5.5% commission equally divided between 2 brokerages. How much commission does each brokerage receive? A $23,705. B. $50,490. C. $25,245. D. $27,540. Correct answer C. $25,245 Total commission is $50,490. Each brokerage receives one half, or $25,245. Question number 7. A homeowner grants a utility company the permanent right to maintain underground gas lines across part of the property. The homeowner retains full ownership of the land. What interest has been created? A leasehold estate. B. Easement. C. License. D. Encroachment. Correct answer. B. Easement. An easement permits a specific use of another's property without transferring ownership. Question number 8. A buyer's agent learns the buyer recently received a substantial inheritance, making the buyer willing to increase the purchase price. The buyer instructs the agent not to reveal this information. What should the agent do? A. Inform the seller immediately. B. Suggest increasing the offer without discussing it. C. Keep the information confidential. D. Share the information if it may help negotiations. Correct answer. C. Keep the information confidential. Confidential client information generally must not be disclosed without authorization or legal obligation. Question number 9. A developer plans to divide a large parcel into multiple residential lots. Before construction begins, which issue should receive primary attention? Property tax assessment after construction. B. Future resale commission rates. C. Local subdivision and land use requirements. C. Local subdivision and land use requirements. Development projects must comply with applicable subdivision regulations and land use controls. Question number 10. A buyer and seller are scheduled to close tomorrow. During the final walkthrough, the buyer discovers the central air conditioning system no longer functions. The purchase agreement required all major systems to remain in substantially the same condition. What is the buyer's best course of action? A. Close immediately and repair the system later. Resolve the issue before completing the closing. C. Cancel the transaction without reviewing the contract. D. Ignore the defect because title has not transferred. Correct answer B. Resolve the issue before completing the closing material. Property issues discovered before closing should generally be addressed according to the purchase agreement before the transaction is completed. Question number 11. A seller accepts a buyer's offer but asks the broker to delay notifying the buyer until another interested purchaser views the property. What should the broker do? Communicate the acceptance promptly. B. Wait for the second showing. C. Cancel the accepted offer. D. Request a higher offer first. Correct answer A. Communicate the acceptance promptly. Acceptance should generally be communicated promptly to create a binding agreement. Question number 12. A homeowner grants a tenant the right to occupy a house for 2 years under a written lease. Which interest does the tenant receive? A. Fee, simple estate. B. Leasehold estate. C. Easement. D. Life estate. Correct answer B. Leasehold estate. A lease grants possession for a specific term without transferring ownership. Question number 13. An appraiser adjusts a comparable sale because it has an extra garage space that the subject property lacks. Which appraisal principle is being applied? A. Progression. B. Substitution. C. Adjustment of comparable sales. D. Conformity. Correct answer C. Adjustment of comparable sales. Comparable sales are adjusted to reflect differences between the subject property and recently sold properties. Question number 14. A buyer defaults without legal justification after the seller has satisfied every contractual obligation. Assuming the contract permits it, which remedy may the seller pursue? A. Automatic foreclosure. B. Criminal prosecution. C. Immediate transfer of the buyer's assets. D. Contract remedies allowed by law. Correct answer D. Contract remedies allowed by law. Available remedies depend on the purchase agreement and applicable law. Question number 15. A listing broker receives a written offer that is lower than the asking price but contains no financing contingency and offers a quick closing. What is the broker's best action? A. Present the offer promptly. B. Reject it because of the price. C. Increase the purchase price before presenting it. D. Wait for additional offers. Correct answer: A. Present the offer promptly. Sellers, not brokers, decide whether to accept, reject, or counter an offer. Question number 16. A lender approves financing for 75% of an $880,000 purchase price. How much must the buyer provide as the down payment? A. $176,000. B. $220,000. C. $198,000. $242,000. Correct answer: B. $220,000. A. 75% loan requires a 25% down payment. 25% of $880,000 equals $220,000. Question number 17. A homeowner intentionally builds a storage shed 3 feet onto a neighboring parcel. Which legal issue most likely exists? A. Easement. B. License. C. Encroachment. D. Adverse possession. Correct answer: C. Encroachment. An encroachment occurs when a structure extends onto another owner's land without permission. Question number 18. A buyer asks whether property values in the neighborhood are guaranteed to increase after a new commuter rail station opens. What is the broker's best response? A. Guarantee future appreciation. B. Explain that future market values cannot be guaranteed. C. Estimate the home's value 5 years ahead. D. Recommend buying additional nearby properties. Correct answer: B. Explain that future market values cannot be guaranteed. Brokers should avoid promises about future appreciation or investment performance. Question number 19. A property owner conveys ownership using a deed that provides the broadest protection against title defects, including those arising before the owner's ownership. Which deed is being used? A. General warranty deed. B. Special warranty deed. C. Quitclaim deed. Correct answer: A. General warranty deed. A general warranty deed provides the broadest warranties regarding ownership and title. Question number 20. A broker receives confidential information that a seller will accept substantially less than the listing price. The seller instructs the broker not to reveal this information. What should the broker do? A. Share the information with qualified buyers. B. Disclose it to encourage offers. C. Keep the information confidential. D. Reduce the listing price immediately. Correct answer: C. Keep the information confidential. A broker must protect confidential client information unless disclosure is authorized or legally required. Question number 21. A buyer submits an offer contingent upon the sale of the buyer's current home. 1 week later, the seller receives a stronger offer without that contingency. Assuming the contract permits it, what is the seller's best option? A. Accept the second offer immediately. B. Ignore the new offer until closing. C. Follow the contract terms regarding the contingency. D. Cancel both offers. Correct answer: C. Follow the contract terms regarding the contingency. A. Sale contingency is governed by the purchase agreement and determines each party's available options. Question number 22. A homeowner grants a neighbor permission to park in the driveway during a weekend event. The permission may be revoked at any time. What legal interest was created? A. License. B. Easement. C. Leasehold estate. D. Joint tenancy. Correct answer: A. License. A. License is temporary. Revocable permission to use another person's property without creating a property interest. Question number 23. A broker advertises a property as having waterfront ownership. Before accepting an offer, the broker learns the property only has a recorded easement to access the lake. What should the broker do? A. Continue advertising until closing. B. Tell buyers after inspections. C. Correct the advertisement immediately. Remove the listing permanently. Correct answer C. Correct the advertisement immediately. Advertising should be accurate. Material errors should be corrected as soon as they are discovered. Question number 24. A lender approves financing equal to 78% of a home's $950,000 purchase price. What is the approved loan amount? A. $209,000. B. $741,000. C. $760,000. $779,000. Correct answer B. $741,000. Multiply $950,000 by 78%. The approved loan amount is $741,000. Question number 25. A property manager receives a tenant's security deposit. Which action best protects both the owner and tenant? A. Deposit it into the operating account. B. Keep it in accordance with applicable trust fund requirements. C. Spend it on routine maintenance. D. Return it immediately after move-in. Correct answer B. Keep it in accordance with applicable trust fund requirements. Security deposits should be handled according to applicable law and trust account requirements. Question number 26. A property owner dies while holding title as a joint tenant with another owner. What generally happens to the deceased owner's interest? A. It passes to the surviving joint tenant. B. It transfers according to the owner's will. C. It automatically belongs to the state. D. It becomes community property. Correct answer. A. Passes to the surviving joint tenant. Joint tenancy includes the right of survivorship, allowing ownership to pass directly to the surviving joint tenant. Question number 27. A developer submits plans for a large shopping center. Before construction begins, the city reviews traffic, drainage, and zoning compliance. Which government power authorizes this review? A. Eminent domain. Taxation. C. Police power. D. Escheat. Correct answer C. Binus. Police power. Local governments regulate land development through their police power to protect public welfare. Question number 28. A broker represents both buyer and seller after obtaining all required written consent. The buyer asks the broker whether the seller would accept a substantially lower price. The seller has instructed the broker to keep that information confidential. What is the broker's best response? A. Reveal the seller's minimum price. Explain that confidential information cannot be disclosed. C. Recommend a specific offer amount. D. Tell the buyer to ignore the seller's instructions. Correct answer B. Explain that confidential information cannot be disclosed. A dual agent must protect each client's confidential information while remaining impartial. Question number 29. A buyer purchases an apartment building because of its stable rental income. Which appraisal approach would most likely provide the most reliable value estimate? A. Cost approach. B. Sales comparison approach. C. Income approach. Market extraction approach. Correct answer C. Income approach. Income-producing properties are generally valued based on their ability to generate future income. Question number 30. A buyer and seller agree to close on Friday. During the final walkthrough Thursday evening, the buyer discovers the built-in dishwasher included in the contract has been replaced with a lower quality model. What should the buyer do first? A. Complete the closing and sue later. B. Accept the substitution without discussion. C. Purchase a replacement independently. D. resolve the issue before closing. Correct answer D, resolve the issue before closing. Contract disputes involving agreed fixtures should be addressed before completing the transaction. Question number 31. A seller signs a counteroffer, changing only the closing date. Before the buyer responds, the seller receives a more favorable offer. What is the seller's best option? A. Accept both offers. B. Withdraw the counteroffer before acceptance. C. Wait until closing to decide. D. Require both buyers to compete. Correct answer B. Withdraw the counteroffer before acceptance. A counteroffer generally remains revocable until it is accepted by the other party. Question number 32. A homeowner transfers property using a deed that provides no warranties regarding title. Which deed is being used? A. General warranty deed. B. Special warranty deed. C. Bargain and sale deed. Quitclaim deed. Correct answer D. Quitclaim deed A. Quitclaim deed transfers whatever interest the grantor owns without title warranties. Question number 33-3. A broker learns that a home's finished basement was built without the permits required by local building codes. The seller instructs the broker to remain silent. What is the broker's best response? A. Recommend the seller address the issue and disclose it when required by law. B. Remove the property from the market immediately. C. Tell buyers only if they specifically ask. Wait until after closing. Correct answer. A. Recommend the seller address the issue and disclose it when required by law. Brokers should avoid concealing known material facts and comply with disclosure requirements. Question number 34. A lender agrees to finance 82% of a $720,000 purchase price. What is the required down payment? A. $122,400. B. $590,400. C. $129,600. D. $144,000. Correct answer C. $129,600. An 82% loan requires an 18% down payment. 18% of $720,000 equals $129,600. Question number 35. A property owner allows a utility company to maintain underground electrical cables across the property through a recorded agreement. Which statement is most accurate? Ownership transfers to the utility company. B. The agreement creates an easement. C. The owner loses all property rights. D. The agreement automatically expires at closing. Correct answer B. The agreement creates an easement. An easement grants a specific right to use land while ownership remains with the property owner. Question number 36. A buyer asks a broker whether nearby property values will definitely increase after a proposed sports stadium is completed. What is the broker's best response? Promise higher values based on experience. B. Estimate future appreciation. C. Explain that future market values cannot be guaranteed. Recommend purchasing immediately before prices double. Correct answer C. Explain that future market values cannot be guaranteed. Real estate professionals should avoid guarantees regarding future market performance. Question number 37. A commercial building generates stable rental income under long-term leases. Which appraisal approach would typically receive the greatest emphasis? A. Income approach. B. Cost approach. C. Sales comparison approach. Replacement cost approach. Correct answer A. Income approach. Income-producing properties are commonly valued based on their expected future income. Question number 38. A listing broker receives an offer below the asking price with no financing contingency and a 10-day closing. The seller has not limited which offers may be presented. What should the broker do? A. Reject the offer because it is below list price. B. Present the offer promptly to the seller. C. Wait for a full price offer. Increase the offer before presenting it. Correct answer B. Present the offer promptly to the seller. Brokers generally must present all offers unless the seller gives lawful instructions otherwise. Question number 39. A property owner builds a detached garage that extends 4 feet onto an adjacent parcel. Which legal issue most likely exists? A. License. B. Easement. C. Joint tenancy. D. Encroachment. Correct answer D. Encroachment. An encroachment occurs when a structure extends onto another person's property without legal authority. Question number 40. A buyer and seller schedule closing for next week. During the final walkthrough, the buyer discovers significant water damage caused by a burst pipe after the contract was signed. What should occur first? A. Determine the parties' rights under the purchase agreement before closing. B. Close as scheduled regardless of the damage. C. Record the deed immediately. D. Reduce the broker's commission. Correct answer. A. Determine the parties' rights under the purchase agreement before closing. Material property damage before closing should be addressed according to the contract and applicable law. Question number 41. A buyer discovers during the final walkthrough that built-in kitchen appliances included in the purchase agreement have been removed by the seller. What is the buyer's best first step? A. Close first and negotiate later. B. Resolve the issue before closing. C. Purchase replacement appliances. D. Accept the property as delivered. Correct answer B. Resolve the issue before closing. Fixtures included in the contract should generally remain unless the parties agree otherwise. Question number 42. A broker advertises a property as free of all easements. Before accepting an offer, the broker learns a recorded utility easement affects the property. What should the broker do? A. Continue advertising until closing. B. Tell buyers only after inspections. C. Correct the advertisement immediately. D. Wait for the title company to explain it. Correct answer C. Correct the advertisement immediately. Brokers should promptly correct material advertising errors to avoid misleading prospective buyers. Question number 43. A homeowner owns property bordering a flowing river. Which water rights generally apply? A. Littoral rights. B. Air rights. C. Mineral rights. D. Riparian rights. Correct answer D. Riparian rights. Riparian rights generally apply to land bordering natural flowing water such as rivers and streams. Question number 44. A broker receives confidential information that a buyer will increase the purchase offer by $40,000 if necessary. The buyer instructs the broker not to disclose this information. What should the broker do? A. Keep the information confidential. B. Share it with the seller. C. Suggest the seller increase the price. D. Reveal it only after inspection. Correct answer A. Keep the information confidential. Client negotiating limits are confidential unless disclosure is authorized or legally required. Question number 45. A property sells for $684,000 with a 5% commission, equally divided between two brokerages. How much commission does each brokerage receive? A. $15,960. B. $18,100. C. $17,100. D. $34,200. Correct answer C. minus $17,100. Total commission is $34,200. Each brokerage receives 1/2 or $17,100. Question number 46. A property owner dies while owning property as a tenant in common with another owner. What generally happens to the deceased owner's interest? A. It automatically transfers to the surviving owner. B. It passes according to the owner's estate plan or applicable law. C. It immediately reverts to the state. D. It is canceled upon death. Correct answer B. It passes according to the owner's estate plan or applicable law. Tenants in common have no right of survivorship. Each owner's interest passes separately. Hopefully you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do give it a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, take a moment to check out the other videos on the channel and be sure to turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thank you so much everyone for watching.